I want you to imagine this scenario. You're a perfect 10 out of 10 girl. Perfect. Wife quality. She looks exactly how you want to. She acts like how you want her to act. Then imagine she's fucking another guy. She's fucking a 10 out of 10 model. Muscular. He's rich. He's really fucking good looking. They're on a bed, maybe mooding lighting around, and they're hard. They're fucking hard. You can hear her screaming his name. Where are you? You're in the corner. In some dark corner. Fapping. You know what that sounds an awful lot like? Exactly what you do on Pornhub. That's exactly what you do on Pornhub. The only difference is that those two people are behind a screen and you're on your bed. Can you imagine that? Watching your 10 out of 10 dream girl getting fucked by another 10 out of 10 guy. Better than you in every way. Muscular, good looking, has money, looks good. And you're in the corner, just fucking jerking off like a little fucking ape. Just fucking spasming. Can you imagine that? You probably can. You probably sit behind your phone 3 times a day, just jerking it off to couples like that. 10 out of 10 couple. They both look good. And then you're just there, jerking off. Maybe it's early in the morning, late at night. You're under the covers of your bed. You're fucking having these spasming short breaths. You look like a fucking dweeb. You look like a retard. Frankly, you do look like an absolute retard. You're just lying down in bed looking at a screen and having a seizure. Look at yourself. Look at how you're acting. I know that watching porn is one of the biggest challenges of my generation and probably even the generation after mine. If you were born after 2000, there's I'd say an 80% chance you're addicted to porn, depending on the household you were raised. I'd say like an average person gets addicted to porn at like 10 to 15 years old. Can you imagine that? Someone in what, like third grade getting addicted to watching people on his screen fucking? Can you imagine that? Could you imagine being 10 years old? You should be outside hanging out with your friends having fun, but instead you're in your dark fucking room. You have these short, shallow breaths, fucking spasming like an ape while you're watching your dream girl get fucked by another dude. We've been conditioned for so long. In some scenarios, when we were 10 years old, isn't that fucking crazy? There's a third grader out there watching porn right now. Our mind, our minds have been so conditioned to watching porn from such a young age that it's just become part of our everyday lives. Wake up right before school, jerk off, whatever. Go to school, come back, jerk off, whatever. When you're about to go to sleep, what do? Jerk off. For some people, that's the life. They go about their daily routine, whatever, do whatever they want. But then they suddenly get the urge to just jerk off. Bap. Isn't that weird? They never they never think about actually resisting it. They never think about the consequences of their actions. They never think about what they're doing in their brain. In their brain, they're thinking like right now, in their current situation in life, they're having sex like 3 times a week, 3 times a day. People that are like 15 years old, their brain is just conditioned to believe that they're having sex 3 times a day. Because your brain actually thinks that you're having sex so many times a day, maybe so many times a week, it doesn't have that motivation, that extra motivation to actually do something productive. I'm sure for a lot of you, your motivation to be successful in life is women. You want to be successful so you can have a lot of women, so you can have a lot of sex. But right now you're watching porn 3 times a day. You're jerking off, and your brain already thinks that you're there. You made it. You're happy. You are where you want to be. Why would you ever want the motivation to go further? Your brain doesn't have any more ambitions because it thinks you already reached it. It thinks you already smashed your goal of like reproduction. Your brain thinks that you're having sex 3 times a day. Your brain thinks that you already have like 10,000 kids out there. When in reality, you probably just fucking ejaculate down the toilet. Isn't that fucking disgusting? That isn't the only bad thing about porn. Porn itself is just one of those big, big bads in self improvement. It's just one of those short term dopamine spikes. I have this chart here that shows perfectly what porn does to you. Once you watch porn right here, you start to become happier right here. But then after watching porn, you go about your day, and then suddenly you go right below your baseline right here. You go right below your baseline. And then the next time you watch porn, you might feel that spike of happiness, and your new your new high is where your standard was before. But then you go even further down, then even further down, even further down. You go in a cycle of just doing these easy dopamine activities. They're frying your dopamine receptors. So now, whenever you want to do something actually exciting, oh, I'm bored because your brain is so conditioned to to these easy dopamine, low fucking testosterone, low dick energy activities that your brain doesn't find anything fun anymore. It thinks that going outside hanging out with friends is boring because you should be having sex right now. Sex. When in reality, you would just be in your bed, in your fucking sweaty ass bed, just fucking jerking it to a screen. Isn't that fucking disgusting? Your brain is tired. It's tired from pretending to think that it's fucking every single day. Let it rest. If your goal is to completely rid yourself of porn, of this bad habit, then what you should expect is that eventually you will relapse. It's practically like a 1 in a million chance, almost impossible, that you'll just immediately get rid of a bad habit. Show me one scenario where someone was watching porn, eating junk food, and then next day, oh, I'm fine. I don't watch porn. I don't eat junk food. I'm a normal person. There's not one scenario like that. Every single time you wanna fix this bad habit of yours, watching porn, for example, you will make some progress. Maybe you'll go like a day without watching porn, and then next day you relapse. If you think about it, that's progress. That's more progress than some people even have. Some people are still sitting in their bed jerking it off that day, but you decided that you wanted to make a change. That first day, you fucking jerked it off. You jerked off 3 times. Next day, you jerked off 0 times. Then you relapse that next day. That's progress. Let's say on the first day you jerked off 3 times. On the third day you jerked off once, 4 times. What about the person that isn't trying? Three, 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 9. 9 times while you're at just 4. Maybe next time you relapse after a week. That's insane progress. As long as you don't do the bad habit for some amount of time, or just a longer period of time that you haven't done it before, then that's progress. It's like starting to work out. Let's say you want to work out at home, so you start doing push-ups. Maybe your limit is 10 push-ups. But you start off with 5 that first day of training, 5 push-ups. That's progress, isn't it? Because before you didn't even do 0. Now you're doing 5 for a week straight. Next day or next week, you do 6. Week after that, you do 7, 8, 9, 10. Eventually you get to your limit. But now you've conditioned yourself to doing this harder work that your limit actually increased. It's exactly like watching porn. Getting rid of watching porn exactly like that. The the amount of time you relapse is eventually just gonna get so far away that it just doesn't exist anymore. Your first week, you might not you might not jerk off, but you might relapse the next week. That's fine. Next time, it might be a month. Next time, it might be a month and a half, 2 months. It goes on and on until you just don't do it anymore. I think when you get to the point of just not jerking off for like a month straight, I think it's easy to say that you're not addicted anymore. You're just beating that bad habit. It goes with any single bad habit. What is it? Smoking, bad junk food, watching porn, watching Netflix, all of that. It's the same principle. As long as you're doing more than you did the day before, it's progress. You're doing good work. That's what I think you should start doing. Start being mindful of the past couple of days and if you have been slacking on that bad habit or not.